happy Monday. Definitely a happy Monday if you are a Tottenham Hotspur fan. But I would say if you're an Arsenal fan, maybe not the happiest of Mondays. If you're a Liverpool fan, you're probably pretty happy. United, you're not happy this Monday. That's okay. Manchester City, they should be all right. Look, how you doing? Big up. First and foremost, welcome in to episode 111 of the Untitled series here on United Spurs of America. First and foremost, I hope you are too blessed to be stressed, as am I, as always. Kind of do my thing here, start turning this thing off. Look, what a day it is. Did I think on this morning I would be seeing our destiny unfold? Did I think on this day the left back position for Tottenham Hotspur, questions would be surrounding it? I don't think anymore. You know, I expressed one of my fears. I again, real quick, I'm not going to boast for too long. First of all, Chewy is here. There he is. Chewy, how you doing? You don't hear anything, so that was kind of useless. But hey, some may say it's fate. Others may say it's destiny. What I will say is Destiny Udogie, aka Destiny Udogie, is going to be a Tottenham Hotspur player for what appears to be at least 5, potentially 6 more years, in addition to what he was already scheduled to be a Tottenham Hotspur player. I expressed my unequivocal fears that I felt like a Real Madrid would come in and scoop him up. He just seems like that kind of quality of a player where these big clubs are going to see him too. I can't be the only one that thinks he's this great player. I can't be the only one that sees him as arguably the greatest left back in the league currently. But hey, whatever you subscribe to, that's what you subscribe to. Speaking of subscribe to, make sure you are subscribed here to the channel United Spurs of America. Make sure you are hitting a like. Those 2 things are free. A third thing that is free. These are 3 things you get free here, United Spurs of America. There's also a poll in the chat, and that is, how is your vibe the day after getting the green dub? You know, we have been looking for said green dubs for quite some time, my friend. We have absolutely been looking, and it's finally here. They said you can't let it go 6 weeks, 6 match days with no green dubs. Well, Ange Postecoglou said, don't worry, I got you. The same thing I said. We can't lose 4 in a row. We didn't. We drew. And, you know, at the end of the day, that's all a man can ask for. I ask for something, they do it. I say, Destiny Udogie, I don't want him to go to Real Madrid. What do? Lock him up to a long-term deal. I love it. I absolutely love it. And then it reminded me that next year, Papa Matessar, Papichulo Matessar, he will also be counted as a homegrown. Maybe it's time to lock him up to a deal. I don't know. Maybe it's time to give these guys a little pay raise. It's interesting. Maybe there was some kind of trigger in his contract where it was like, if he hits a goal, then something happens. I don't know. They didn't say that, but look, I got the news right here for you. There he is. What a man. Let me switch this camera view around for you. Obviously, I wake up and this is what I see. How am I supposed to have anything less than a blessed day? You know what I mean? Destiny Udogie. Tottenham reached an agreement on a new long-term deal for the Italian fullback. Club sources confirmed deal in place and sealed. Understand it's all done. Spurs very happy with Udogie. Salary rise agreed. Destiny scored his first Tottenham Hotspur goal yesterday. What a beautiful sight that is. What a beautiful sight it is. It is Udogie Day at the end of the day. So big up, Scott M. You do get the first double first place prize, Mr. Scott, because you are a YouTube chat member and you were the first chatter here. Says big up, Jacob. Hope you have a great show. Didn't see the poll option. Is that so? Is that so? Is that so? Big up, Scott M. Either way. If you can hit the poll right now, what it says to me, just says, how is your vibe the day after getting the green dub? 38% says immaculate vibes only and always. 33% says happy Destiny Udogie Day. It is a very happy Destiny Udogie Day. 24% says it's calm, time to build on this. And 5% saying I'm not a rival and I'm still, or saying I am a rival and I am still not happy. Well, yeah, respectfully hold that. Big up Mountain Bushman says, big up Jacob. How you doing, Mountain Bushman? Mountain Bushman, how you doing? Scott, so he did see the poll. Mountain Bushman was able to vote. Rich says, big up Jacob. Definitely want to see back-to-back wins before getting excited. I don't think that's too egregious of something to say, Rich. I would admit that I'm a little excited just getting this green dub because I feel like it's been a long time coming. I've wanted to see this for weeks now. I've been deprived, very, very thirsty. I finally got to gulp some water. While it may not have solved the dehydration issue at Tottenham Hotspur, we at least got to drink some water on the weekend. Speaking of Hydration Nation, go ahead and pause for the cause. What are we saying, though? How do we feel about this Udogie thing? I feel like not enough people are excited. Maybe I just ain't heard enough people talking about it. But normally when we sign a player, it's like all the news, it's all the rage. Everyone can't wait to... Man, what's going on here? Why are people messaging me? Anyway, sorry about that. Big up Drula. Drula's in the house as well. Says immaculate vibes. Always big up Jacob and all in the chat. Big up Drula. How you doing? Donovan says I can't see the options, so I just voted random. That's unfortunate. I don't know why you can't see those. Spurs GCTV. How you doing? Big up Spurs GCTV. Ryman's son says Udogie. You already know the vibes. Big up Sai Danza. Oh, I feel like I got water stuck in my throat. Excuse me. I am apologizing. The side dancer's in the house. Big up. How you doing? Drunk Vigo's here. How you doing? Jacob, it's like you sneezed all over my Christmas cake. I would never. I would cover my face. I'll put it that way. Big up Ren. Good morning. Happy Tuesday it would be. Absolutely a happy Tuesday for you. Says, I'm really feeling this is our destiny. This is our destiny to be. I mean, whenever I mention that he's potentially the best left back in the league, rivals don't like it. Rivals get very upset about it. Hold that, first and foremost. But look, I'm excited about it personally. I think he's so good. And this is just his first. He's only played 14 matches. 14 matches. And he's already, in my opinion, better than most of the left backs in the league. And a lot of them have started and played in more than 14 Premier League matches. This kid is special. Absolutely enamored. Spurs, psych. Big up Spurs, psych. Hey, Jacob and Chad, happy Monday to you. Happy Monday to me. I think you are down under, aren't you? Or are you in the UK? So it would be still Monday evening. But if you are down under, happy Tuesday. The day after yesterday, Udogie was vibing off that win. The photos coming out from that match after him getting his first goal were absolutely immaculate. You know me. I like anything immaculate. Put it in a box and with a little bow. I love that shit. Destiny, he absolutely did that. Big up Drunk Vigo. Yes, you do have to talk to me nicely, my friend. You are a Liverpool fan, so I think I'll have to speak to you nicely as well. Big up Juliet. Yep, Chewy is here. He did show up. I know some people have been like, oh, what's going on? You know, where's Chewy been? Maybe I need to dock his pay. Maybe. Big up Thanos. Hello, Mr. Johnny Depp. Do you know Johnny Depp? Because I sure don't. I know people have been saying this and that, but hey, Joe Leone Hunt. Hello. God Almighty, your club are buried. It would be your club is buried. Vibes, yeah, you haven't won a trophy since 2008. Wake up and demand more as a fan base. Okay. Dead Club, Kuva about feelings and sunshine, winning the league. I'll be 80 and you will still be fucking about trying to secure a third loser spot. Hey, man, love to know where you got that crystal ball. And also, I don't know why you got to come in here with that negativity. So, honestly, I appreciate you being here. You're going to have to hold that time out as well because this is an immaculate vibes area. But look, I will talk about what you said real quick because you did take the time out of your day to be here and to say that, Joe Leone Hunt. So, first and foremost, hope you have a great day. Why would you come in here speaking about Kuva? Is he here? Have you seen Kuva? Have you seen Sava? Neither one of them are on this show, yet you come into my channel and you start talking about what this man said and what that man said, and then you voice your own opinion. I always say you're allowed to voice your own opinion, but when you come in here talking about some bullshit like you'll be 80, I don't know how old you are, and I don't know where you got the damn crystal ball, Joe Leone, but first and foremost, send me the link if you do got it, because I would love a crystal ball. I would love to know the finalities to everything, because apparently you do. And I'm so glad that you came here and shared that with us, because look, it's people like you, I think, that see things so black and white, and really there's more colors than just those two. And actually one is the absence of color, but that's neither here nor there. My point in saying this, Joe Leone, is you come in here, you bring in some negative vibes, and that's fair. You may be a negative person, you may have had a bad day. That's all good. But what I will say is this to you. You act like my feelings, my stance has anything to do with what the chairman does in the future of this club. Do you think any fan has that much power? You are a fool, first and foremost. You are an absolute fool to believe that me sitting up here, Kuva and I sitting up here having a good time talking about football, that has anything to do with what our club actually does. Now, as much as I love to say, I did sit up here and predict these things. I called for Mickey Van de Veen in January. We got him. I asked for a pathway to the first team. I got one. I asked for more youth to be integrated into the first team, and I got that. So you're coming on here shitting on the way that I'm feeling about my club, which really has nothing to do with how I feel about my club. So I'll say that as well. And then I'll also top that off with, like, you come in here talking about secure a third loser spot. Like, what are you talking about? My guy, I would love to know where you got that crystal ball. Again, I have no animosity towards you, clearly. I think you need to turn to your left, turn to your right, and if there's somebody there, ask them for a hug. If I was there, Joe Leone Hunt, I would give you one. I'll tell you that much. But look, me talking about how I'm feeling about my club has nothing to do with the trajectory or the future choices this club makes. So when you come here spewing this, again, look for a hug. Seek some help, Joe Leone. I'm sorry you feel so adamantly upset about the way I feel. But again, that's on you, my friend. Sounds like a you problem. Big up Chang, my buddy out here gifting 5 United Spurs of America memberships. How you doing? Let's see who got those memberships. Steve D, Maraving, and I was kind of hoping Joe Leone would get one. Steve D, Maravingen 1980, Andre King, D247, and Letty. Big up Letty. Good to see you in the chat over there on Kunle's channel. I was over there talking some fun banter out there with them, but big up. Y'all take it easy on Joe Leone. He did have to hold that timeout though. I don't know why I timed him out. Can I untime him out? I don't think I can, but either way, he's going to have to hold that. Let's see. Where was I in the chat? He sounds to me like he's a rival too. Maybe he's a rival. He's upset that we feeling good about the dub. Hey, probably Arsenal. He's probably still celebrating the fact he got a last minute game winner versus damn Luton Town. And he out here trying to spread that negative feeling, but hey, big up nonetheless, Joe Leone Hunt. Hold that. Big up Keybike. Says, I didn't realize how fast Destiny is. That boy has pace along with his strength. What a package he is. What a package indeed. That is not even an AO or a pause. Big up Sten. Udogie making the biggest mistake of his career. Sad because he's a decent player. I think you are a rival, and you were saying that because you're saying his biggest mistake is signing for Spurs. I thought you were going to say something. I thought you were a Spurs fan, and I thought you were going to say something along the lines of he makes a very bad mistake that leads to a goal one week, and then the next week he gets a goal and he gets a contract extension. That's where I'm going to choose to put my energy, Stan. Big up Donovan. Jacob, we know we got the best left back in the league for the next 7 years. 7 years. 7 years of Destiny Udogie. Come on now. Talk to me nicely. Talk to me nicely. Black Cat Moto. Need a quality backup for Romero. Still a liability issue. I would argue we need backup for a lot of different positions. And I don't think he's a liability. I watched the thing back. And really, if you watch it, what's his name on the floor, he actually kicks the ball as Kuti's lunging in for that challenge. So it's literally just a matter of that guy kicked the ball away before Kuti could get there, and something was getting stomped on, whether it was the ball or the guy. The guy got stepped on. He got a yellow card, a little sloppy, but not an egregious error, and I think that's why it wasn't rewarded as a red. I know people want to always look back at decisions and say, oh, it should have been this, it should have been that. Regardless, taking all my Spurs bias and Christian Romero love out of it as much as I can. I really try to look at that challenge and say, like with his first one, the one versus Enzo Fernandez where he did get a red card, an immediate red and 3-match ban, I said, hey, play cleaner, take the ref out of the situation. Same situation here. Play cleaner, take the ref out of the situation, and you don't get that yellow. So that's kind of where I see it. Big up Drunk Vigo. He's like my number one hater and my number one lover. Big up Steve D. Arsenal invented the top 4 trophy. Oh, I like that one. Joe Leone. Just need to change the H to a C and your name might be more accurate. Wait. Oh, Rich. Yeah, that's creative. I didn't even think of that. Whoa, Joe Leone. Hey, let's take it easy on Joe Leone. That's my fault. I was too aggressive on Joe. That's my fault. Joe Leone. Sorry, man. Steady as Shark. I'm happy that Richie is finally 100% fit and healthy and confident. This is the best stepping stone. Again, one good match doesn't negate the bad matches. So what I would say to this, Steady as Shark, he sounds... Actually, I do have some quotes about this. You brought it up, Steady as Shark, so let's go ahead and talk about it. Richarlison says today, quote, I have been suffering since last season. I had been treating it, but it wasn't helping. I had several injections in the area. He's talking about his pubis, by the way. He's talking about his pubis, ladies and gentlemen. I had several injections in the area. I underwent several procedures, but it didn't resolve the problem. Surgery was the last plan. As it didn't work, I decided to have the surgery. I was also thinking about the club, the national team. I am much better than before. I feel confident. I feel 100%. I think the surgery has helped me a lot to recover in training. And now I am training without pain, and this is helping me a lot. It is evolving every day, and I'm thinking about the next game. Good. This is finally, maybe we can look at this and say, no more excuses. That's what I'm thinking. No more excuses. Let's see what you could do, young man. Let's see what you can do. You're talking about now you're 100% fit. Now you're feeling better than ever. I saw a very poignant clip earlier today, and it was of Antonio Conte criticizing Richarlison last year, saying after Richarlison had spoken out about his playing time, and Conte said this was very selfish of him. He has 0 goals, 2 in the Champions League, but in the league he has 0 goals for us, and I think that he's thinking about himself rather than the team. That's kind of surmising what Antonio Conte said. Now, the video I saw, I guess it was a TikTok or whatever, it was referencing the fact that now Richarlison has blossomed, I guess. Now this is his moment to shine. Look, I've seen him pop up and get 2 goals before and then disappear. Irrespective of any competition, that's what he did last year. Now this year he does have 3 goals, so admittedly he is a higher goal scorer than Gabriel Martinelli. He is a higher goal scorer than Gabriel Jesus. So make of that what you will. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. I can't wait till I go on American Waffle later tonight over on Staffy TV. I'm going to absolutely rinse Arsenal fans talking about this and that, about Brazil's number 9. Then they speak with some respect, first and foremost. Big up, Ren. There's absolutely hundreds of thousands of fans who all have different thoughts. How can they all be right? Hey, man, nothing is final in this life. Drunk Vigo, Jacob wishes he could give a snuggie to everyone. Hey, I'll give a snuggie to everybody. You know that. Big up Danny Kiriakou. Can you play? Danny, I'm going to play this just for you. I'm going to play this because I love you. So how about this? Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening.
Isn't that a lot of fun? Good evening. That's what I have to say about all that. Big up Danny Kiriakou. Can't wait till you can join the stream again, my friend. Miss you around these parts. Miss you around these parts. You ain't been a regular in these saloons, bro. Come on down to Chinatown. Well, I ain't in Chinatown. I'm actually just in El Paso. So Come on down, man. You're always welcome anytime. Shoot me a text when you're available. Let me know, Danny. You always got a spot here, my friend. Steve D says, I bit at that comment as I came. Apologies for the bad form, not saying hi first. What can I say? Hey, hello. It's okay, Steve D. I do appreciate a hello, you know, a hello, hello. And then come in. Like, that's what I would say to Joe Leone as well. You come in here and you just start trying to poo-poo all over my vibe. Cool, man. You may rock like that. I don't. At least say hello and then banter me. That's the better way to banter. It was a respectful way to banter. There's a tribalism to it, but there's still a respectful amount of humanity in there, in my opinion, regardless of whatever club you support or whatever opinion you may hold. So, got nothing but love for Sava, nothing but love for Kuva, and they both hold different opinions on the club and the trajectory and how we should feel and what we're looking for. Again, me getting up here bitching and moaning or sitting here beaming about what's going on, neither one of those avenues lead to the position of where my club is then all of a sudden doing something different. If I had that much power in my life, imagine the things I would be doing with this YouTube channel, Joe. Big up Daniel Sandoval. Big up One Love. Hey, big up One Love every single time. Ren, these rival fans really think they're doing something here. That's not even good banter. Like, good banters. Drunk Vigo can actually get some good banter in here. Big up Drunk Vigo for that. Nick Brown, good evening, Jacob. Delighted Udogie has signed a new contract. I'm absolutely delighted. Again, you may have heard me a few weeks back, Nick Brown. I actually feared for Real Madrid, Barcelona, someone big. Who's to say that, maybe AC Milan wouldn't, but Inter Milan, maybe they would come in for him. Look, I don't doubt that at some point a big club will try to make an offer for him, but now they will have to make an offer in which he can't refuse. I feel like whereas we put ourselves in a position to hold on to him for as long as possible, and if not, then at least get the best possible deal that we can out. Joe Leone, hold what? It's like a turn of phrase for hold the timeout. Like I'm going to put you in a timeout. But that was wrong of me, Joe. So I apologize. I shouldn't have put you in a timeout. That's my fault. I got a little, I felt like you were killing my vibe, man. So that's why I put you in a timeout. Joe Leone, hunt sounds like Cockney rhyming slang for something else. I don't know Cockney slang. Is Cockney the Liverpool accent? I really like that one. That one's one of my favorite English accents. The Liverpool fans. You don't do that. You know that one? You don't do that. I can't really do it well, so you probably don't know what I'm talking about. Big up Red. Having a go at Drunk Vigo. Hey, Letty. How you doing? Joe Leone says, you haven't won a trophy since 2008, and you're saying I have to hold that. I call your club out for the shambles they are. You call it negative. You're better than that. First of all, I said what you brought was negative vibes to my stream, which was what you had said that I pulled up on screen and I read. I can't really recall verbatim what it was, Joe. Look, you can call my club out for the shambles it is. I've called it out plenty of times, admittedly, and if you are a long-time listener to this channel, you would know that. If as long as this channel has been here, even when Michael and I were still here, and it was two of us, we were both saying the same thing, which was calling out for more from Enoch. What did that lead to? Whatever the fuck Enoch wanted to do. So what did me and my partner, what did me and anybody getting on YouTube, what does that actually solve in the grand scheme of things? What does that actually lead to in the grand scheme of things? I don't think that it leads to much of anything. I think it's just a waste of breath. So whenever I'm going to use my time and my energy to break away from my family and my loved ones to do this, I'm going to try to do it in a manner in which I'm going to enjoy it. So when I come up here and I have a kuva on and I get up here and I speak my truth and how I feel about my club and the progression that I've seen and the transformation that I've seen within my own fan base, hey man, like, you can call it whatever you want. You were factually correct. 2008 was the last time that we won a cup. And it was the Carling Cup, admittedly. I think the last time we won an FA Cup I was about 1 or 2 years old when we won an FA Cup. But who's to say we can't go do it this year? Go on a deep FA Cup run. Maybe next year win it. Who knows? You don't. And that's my point, is you come in here and you tell me finality solution. You tell me, oh, I know this is going to happen because of this. That is delusional, my friend. You talk about reality, delusion, and this, that, and the other. My friend, What you're saying is you know that you're going to turn 80. First and foremost, you don't even know you're going to live that long. I hope you do. I hope you live many years beyond that. But my point is saying is you don't fucking know. You don't have a crystal ball. You ain't rubbing it and say, oh, tell me what this is going to tell me. Oh, I rubbed it and it says I'm going to turn 80 and Spurs are still not going to win anything because Jacob from United Spurs of America said he was enjoying what Ange Postecoglou was doing at his club in the year 2023. I'm telling you, man, it's silly. It's absolutely silly, Joe Leone. But I appreciate you being here, of course, every single time. Again, I didn't mean to disrespect you by timing you out. Sorry about that. I like Richie and always will. I don't even care. Rent, hey, you can like whoever you want. What does that even mean, Drunk Fico? Saw another post with more comments from Richie. I do have another post with more comments from Richie. I do have that, sir. Oh, wait, that's Cody Mack talking about it. Did I have it? Maybe I don't. Oh, here it is. I got more. It's right here. Jolion says, and everyone's saying change the H to a C. Good one. Playground banter right there. Your club are a joke. Levy's laughing at you fools. Get knocked out of the Carabao Cup. We have our Spurs back. I love this. Jolion, thank you for being here again because you're providing me with a lot of things to say. Like I had a lot of talking points on my own that I was going to venture onto my own. But this is what's so beautiful about the internet and comments and doing a live show is that you get interactions. And Jolion, again, I hope you're having a great day. Now, playground banter is fun. Thank you for acknowledging that first and foremost. You say my club is a joke. Joke to who? You may think it's a joke. I don't. I look at the rich history that this club has had. And then I look at the way that capitalism is in America. And when capitalism takes control over something that is a heritage thing, that is a family thing, that is ingratiated into people's lives, passed down through generations, to me, you can have this be the sort of outcome. I mean, when you look at Manchester United as well, a lot more storied franchise in regards to trophy winning. I think a lot would agree. Are they happy with their owners? They protested. They got a game postponed. What did they do? Hire Ten Hag? Throw a couple $100 million at the problem? What did that do? That's my point. I don't know what you want me to do. We got knocked out of the Carabao Cup, Joe Leone, and I saw the bigger picture. I saw what Ange Postecoglou was doing, putting those players on the line for him in his system. Show me what you can do. And they showed him what they've shown Spurs fans and anybody who's watched Spurs over the last several years. They are failures and they have to go. And that is what they showed, and that is what has started to happen. Look, you can't rebuild a home in one single day and one single transfer window. And that's the same thing here. Notice we still have Ben Davies starting. We're not far removed from Eric Dyer in the lineup. Giovanni Lo Celso. Feels like forever ago we were talking about should we pick up that option or should we not? My point is saying that is where we're at now is not where we were. Where we were was chasing what we had done with Pochettino. Get a Jose Mourinho. Maybe he can get us to a cup final, which he did. But we sacked him 5 days before. Now, is that my fault that we sacked him 5 days? Is that any Spurs fans' fault? We sacked our manager 5 days before? I would say no. We don't have that kind of power. Maybe in masses, yes, but singularity in smaller groups, hundreds of groups, maybe even thousands, you don't have that kind of power. I don't know where you think that we do have that kind of power, Joe Leone. So again, getting knocked out of the Carabao Cup, I chose to see the bigger picture. It's okay to be upset and say Ainge got it wrong, and you're right to criticize a manager, a player, a club, and every asset. If fucking the postman can be criticized for what time he drops off the envelopes, my manager can be criticized. I've never said that he is immune and he is he's in this bubble of non-criticism. My point is saying that, Joe, is Spurs fans have been asking for more while still enjoying what we're seeing. And again, you sound like a rival fan, so I'll tell you the same thing I tell all rival fans, Joe Leone Hunt. just because you don't see the vision doesn't mean that there is not one there. And I'll leave it there. Big up Darren Wimbledon. Good evening, Jacob. Big up Darren Wimbledon. How you doing, my friend Ren? Big up. How you doing? Chang says, food for thought, Jacob. Bring on weird Tottenham TV regulars like Danny Kiriakou, Daigle, Ben, Ash, Brains, Barry, if they're still up and awake at this hour. Yeah, love working with those guys. A lot of really good names that you mentioned there. Absolutely. The thing, it's just hard to even plan my life, let alone plan a show with other people. So big up David Shear with the super chat, I guess, for my little monologue there. Says, big up Jacob, you're spot on, Cobber. Big up David Shear. Curious to see what the chat is saying about that. But look, man, I really can only just speak my existence. You know what I mean? That's all I'm doing here. And again, I'm just trying to enjoy it. Like, why would I get up here and be like, oh, Levy, oh, it's not even the transfer window. Maybe I'll save that energy for the transfer window when, you know, my screaming into the ether may end up being heard in the echoes of a hall somewhere. Steady as Shark says Richie is visibly faster now, in my opinion. Yeah, I honestly think Richie was moving very well in that match. I was watching him in the press, and honestly, not to, you know, no pun intended, but he was impressive with his press. So, really, like to see that. Long may it continue. Let's see, who else do we got here in the house? Big up Jay Kismat. Good to see you here. Kulusevski mask on, different type of beast. Is it the Kulusevski mask season? That might be the question we need to start asking, folks. There are 72 teams in the greatest domestic league pyramid in the world, and what makes it special is they all have fantastic support. Real fans don't abandon their team regardless of trophies. Spot on, Steve D. A good evening, indeed. Good evening to everyone. Good evening to you, Adrian Shroka. Hey, big up, Dry Rose Peanut. Appreciate you, my friend. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, it's okay. It's all good. It's all good, Ren. We ain't worried about it. Like I said, immaculate vibes regardless of the vibes brought in here. That's what you come here for, is coming for the immaculate vibes. Jay says, I remember when Spurs fans were dissing Kulu, and I was like, he knows what he's doing when he has the ball. Jay Kismet, this is a good point. And I'm going to go on a tangent about Kulusevski here for a second, so indulge with me before I end up going back to Richarlison. But see, this is just the brain. This is how ADHD works. I go on tangents, so here we go. Jake Kismet, Kulusevski, for me, I've said on this channel many times that I didn't like him as a right winger, that I thought he was very limited in that position, that I felt like when he's there as our forward person on the right-hand side, when you give him the ball or you expect him to go on some type of run, he doesn't really have the pace necessarily to challenge that back line and make him think, oh, I really got to worry about this man making a run over the top, making a run underneath. He doesn't offer that. But what he does offer is he's very creative with the ball. He's got a very high football IQ, in my opinion. So when you watch this guy with the ball in the middle of the park, he has options. He has 4 or 5 different options at every angle that he turns, with what he can do with the ball, where he could play the pass off, with what he wants to do. And I think that favors Kulusevski a lot more than, say, putting him in a position like the right wing where it's, hey, beat this man with your pace or beat him with a cut on the inside. And when you present someone with those two options and they lack the pace, I think that is a foolish mistake. And that is why I don't like Kulusevski as a right winger anymore necessarily. And I think that as you progress as a player, you naturally get slotted into where your physical attributes and your mental attributes will kind of push you to. And I think just for me here, and maybe Ange Postecoglou agrees with the body of work that he's been giving Kulusevski, and the notion that Kulusevski's future lies in the middle somewhere. Now, when I present that option, a lot of people will say, whoa, hang on. When James Maddison comes back, it's Kulusevski's job. And I understand that. And I sympathize with that. And I actually agree with it. But again, it solves a problem that we all had in the summer. Every Spurs fan in this summer, I don't know one that was like, oh, we're cool there, that we don't have a James Maddison backup. And we knew that if James Maddison got hurt, suspended, whatever, that we were going to be severely lacking in that position. I think Kulusevski has naturally progressed in his game to where he can fit in there. So that's what I would say, Jake Kismet. A lot of people were not ready to write off Kulusevski, and good on them, because they shouldn't have. But hey, there we go. Big up Jake Kismet every single time. Spurs about to go on a run, says Ball Bean Counter. How you doing, Ball Bean Counter? I hope they put the Kulu mask on the FIFA card. That would be sick, Ryman. They did. It is a feature for, like, if you do a player career, it is a new feature now where you can add a mask to your player now, so you can do that. Yeah, let's talk about Richie a little bit more. So I want Jacob to become more famous, bro. I don't know about famous, but it's always cool getting to interact with more people. Look, make sure you are hitting a like. I was rambling there for a while, and we're on 37 minutes already. I'm like, holy shit, how did we get there? 54 likes I see on the video. Big up for everyone who has hit a like. 60 votes on the video, or 60 votes in the poll, rather. So far, with 35% leading the race. Immaculate vibes only and always. Love to see that. Cockney is the east end of London. Very nice. Y'all just want to keep Jacob for yourselves. Who wants to keep me? Who trying to keep Jacob? Don't worry about that. Hey, don't worry, Letty. Hey, Joe Leone don't have that much power either. Again, Joe Leone, thank you for being here, but Joe Leone can't ruin the Immaculate Vibes. I'll put it that way. You know what, Jacob? You've been doing a bad job up until now with those magic powers. Oh, wait, what did you say? What did you say? Is this how we find out Jacob has magic? Hey, if I do, I mean, okay, there were a few things that I said, which was I'm worried about Udogie going to another club. And what did? We extended him long term. I did say I want Mickey Van de Veen. I think whatever system you play, this kid is so good. I was watching him at Wolfsburg that year before, and I was just super impressed with and he stood out. He just jumped off the page. And this was before the viral video of him running the whole stretch of the pitch and cleaning up a goal line save. I would love to think that I have some kind of superpower, that I influence any sort of decisions. If I do, Joe Leone, I guarantee you, look, if there's some spiritual voting presence or they're waiting for my statement is this. You give me the power to do that, Joe Leone, magical spirits, to conduct things for my football club to transpire, to hopefully come true. I will say this. I will do the best damn job. We will be winning trophies. We would go return to glory. Because obviously we all want that, but I don't have any control of that. You already know. Good morning, Tony D. How you doing? Good morning, Tony D. Indeed. Let's see who else is here. Big up. Hey, big up, Sean. Spurs Talk Show in the house. How you doing, Sean, boy? Are you still awake? Are you in bed? Are you just listening, or you want to come say hello? Sean, it's always good to hear from you. I want to know how you felt after that game. I see you didn't go. I thought you were going to the game, but you did a watch along with Henry Wright. Shout out Henry Wright TV. Yeah, come on now. David Shear, apart from Wolves, we have been great without our big stars. Onwards and upwards. Ainge knows best. Big up David Shear, YouTube chat member, and hit me with the super chat. Big up David Shear and Chang. Again, I appreciate y'all spending a little bit of dough here. It's close to the holiday times. I know things are tight, so big up everyone. You don't have to spend any money here. Don't think that. Hitting a like, hit a subscribe is absolutely free. That's what I do want you to do. But if you do, hey Chang, I do appreciate you. David Shear, I do appreciate you. Thank you very much. I will shout you out at the end of the show as well, my friends. So thank you as well for just the financial donations here to the channel. Thank you. Let's see, where are we at? Big up Ravi in the house. Ravi Bigari. What was a turning point for you in the game? There was not a turning point. The whole game was ours. It never turned in any direction other than being ours. I'll put it that way. We dominated Newcastle. I agree, Herbie. You ain't hurting my feelings. Herbie hurts feelings. Kulu does look better at the 10. You're absolutely right. It's a speedy brain, and it's the best. I don't know about the best. It does get me into some issues, and it does run me into my wife in the morning. Be like, Jacob, make a decision. I'm just like, I'm thinking of all possible outcomes, and then I'm also listening to a song in my head that I was thinking about, and then I get hit with random songs. Just get stuck in my head on a loop. It does not help today. Does not help. Big up Todd Spurs says, big up Jacob. How you doing? All good. Jacob, you're very easy to follow. Hey, thanks for saying that. Did I skip something? No, I think I'm caught. Yeah. I'm right. I'm right here. Come on. Dry Rose Peanut says, Brennan will become Ainge's first choice at right wing. He likes his wings to go on the outside. This is the profile in which we were told, right? This is the... Oh. Oh my. If I told you all right now that I have such a special treat for you, I spoke earlier about manifesting things. Joe Leone, maybe you're right. Joe Leone Hunt, maybe you are correct this whole time that I have some magical power to say, what about this? And then it come true. Because guess what, ladies and gentlemen? We've got Sean Butler from Spurs Talk Show. I just said, hey, it'd be nice to see him. Wonder how he's feeling, and now we got him here. How you doing?
I'm only popping on for a few minutes. I wanted to say hello and hear some of that mellifluous, dulcet tones of yours. It gives me a little lullaby before I go to bed. You know?
Yeah, indeed.
Oh,
First and foremost, hey, I'm too blessed to be stressed, my friend. I hope you are as well. Newcastle 4-1. What are your thoughts, man? How are you feeling today? The day after.
Mate, I'm so annoyed with myself. I woke up on Sunday and I was feeling a little bit like, oh, I don't know. And I went down the road to get the dog, to get Bugsy some food. And it was just raining and the wind was coming in hard on the south. And I was like, do you know what? I just don't fancy it. I can't do this drive up again. I've done too many miles in the car traveling to watch Tottenham in the last 2 weeks. Like in the rain, I can't handle another traffic jam. It's just, I can't do it. I'm going to sit at home today. And every time I do it, every single time I do it, Tottenham put on a masterclass performance. And I miss out on an absolute cracker. And yesterday was a cracker, wasn't it? It was perfect Ange ball, or nearly perfect Ange ball, but it was exactly what Ange ball was supposed to be, getting the wings to do what they're supposed to, all the other guys in their relative positions dotted around the 18-yard box, making it crazy difficult for the team to pick up the players. This is what we're
Brennan Johnson hitting the vagina of the goal, you know what I mean? It was kind of like,
he didn't mean to do that. He didn't mean to do that. He was fooling around looking for first base and ended up almost getting the home run. You know,
right where the crossbar and the post meet, he snuck it right there and said smooch. And I've never seen that. I've actually
it was kissing the stanchion. It's called the stanchion, I think. Yeah,
that might be a more appropriate term, at least for the families watching. Sean, also, that did make me think of something. Didn't we have another shot the other week where it hit both goalposts and didn't go in? Or am I imagining things?
Not Tottenham, no.
Okay, maybe I'm
FIFA.
Maybe I'm thinking FIFA. That's the thing. When you start playing too much FIFA and watching all these different football matches, they all start blending together.
Right.
I don't know what's reality and what's EAFC.
Remember 2 weeks ago when Kylian Mbappe scored a hat-trick for Tottenham? I mean, it was just wonderful. Whatever happened to him?
Where did he go? Where did that guy go? He was very good for us. Hey, man, also, I woke up. Happy Destiny Udogie Day, my friend. We've locked him down. 7 more years of Destiny. Is it fate or is it destiny is the penultimate question today. For you, what do you think initially when you saw the news? Because I woke up and it was like, good morning indeed.
Yeah, no, it's excellent news. I was annoyed because it had come out after I'd gone out to take my dog for a walk and do my video. Otherwise, I would have spoken about it. So
I was wondering because normally when we sign players, I see Henry Wright has a show, then Sean has a show, and everyone's scheduling a show to talk about the new signings and the implications of this and where this could lead for us. And I was like, cool, great. This is going to give me some notes and some things, some talking points to either agree with or to counterpoint on my show. And I'm like, no one's talking about Destiny signing this deal. It was only Twitter.
No, because you know what the problem is, right? With you, and you might see this. I don't know if you do 2 videos a day, but ultimately, there's like a problem with YouTube's algorithm. It's called subscriber fatigue. So if you put out a video at like 11 a.m. and then you go live at 12 or 1, you kill the first video, right? It doesn't want to show too many videos to the same audience. So you need to go like, ideally, you do one at 10 a.m., one at 4 p.m. and then one at 10 p.m. or something if you really wanted to max out. But there's a limit to how much you can do before YouTube stops showing it. So when you've just put out a video that's reviewing the game and then you've got the Udogie news, the second you get back, by the time you get back to upload your video, you see Udogie news is out. You're kind of like, well, I either go live and talk about Udogie and then I just forget about this video. But so that's why I didn't talk about it. But yeah, look, it's good.
Well, I've got the exclusive, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out at Spurs Talk Show. We have the exclusive Feelings from Sean. Immediate reaction after the news before bed. Love to see that.
No, he's good. I think he's going to be a world-class left back. I don't think there's anyone playing better than him in his position. But you know what? I was saying this on the video today. It's all about partnerships. And I think that Tottenham are starting to figure out new chemistry. I don't think he plays as well without having a crafty number 8 to help him out in the middle. I think Bissouma is forging a relationship with Sarr. I'm not sure if we should be calling it like Satsuma or Bizarre, whatever. Like that's the kind of the new kind of Harry Kane and Sonny relationship. You've got Sonny and Maddison. You've got Van der Ven and Romero. You have these relationships. People don't talk about sort of in different ones before. And I think
Sarr helped every single person on that pitch, if I'm honest. Sarr,
low-key, are creating a relationship, bro, because they're pinging balls left and right to each other. For Udogie's goal, that doesn't start without Pedro Porro pinging the ball hard in across from the right-hand side. The same one with Udogie's key pass. I think it was for Richarlison's goal. I think that got it across to Porro. Porro then launches it long into the box. It's lovely little relationships, and I think Pape Sarr is so important. I felt sorry for Gio Lo Celso to get dumped back to the bench.
Hold that, Gio's what I felt, but
say that again.
Hold that, Gio. Hold that, my friend, is what I felt. I didn't feel sorry at all. I don't have anything. I'll say this. He turned my not liking him to having nil. If it's a pH balance, I am 0, neither acidic or basic. That's where I'm at right now with Giovanni. 2 good games doesn't erase 2 to 3 years of not good stuff and bad attitudes. Like I said, if you got to...
I hear you. I'm not saying I want to be his best man at his wedding.
And I will also throw this in there. No matches that he started did we win. So he wasn't a difference maker necessarily. He just did well singularly. Singularity? Singularly. I don't know. Whatever the word is. I think you know what I'm saying. I just feel like Ange Postecoglou had to change something. And my friend, you are the victim of that change. And look what happened. Domination nation. Some would say, "Oh, yeah." All the rivals want to say this is a Newcastle C team, and to me,
I'm not having that.
Tell me why. Because I'm about to go later tonight. I have to debate a bunch of fucking frauds on Staffy TV, and they're all going to say. I know they're already rearing to say that.
One of the best number 9s in the Premier League on the bench. They also decided to play a 17-year-old ahead of Sean Longstaff. Like, yes, they lost their keeper, which is a big loss. Yes, they do have injuries. Everyone has injuries. Tottenham don't get any sensitivities or any love or any remembrance when we have 7-8 players out. I acknowledge that he's going through it. We're going through it. So 2 teams decimated by injuries went up against each other, and Tottenham came out on top with a domination nation. And I think that's people say, "Oh, you smashed a depleted Newcastle." Yeah, a depleted Tottenham smashed a depleted Newcastle. Let's
call a spade a spade. Thank you. Provide some fucking context, please. I hate that. When rivals give us opinions about our club, or when I'm watching a YouTube show and it's got 5 people and all of them are 5 members from 5 separate clubs in the Big Six and not one representative for Tottenham, and they're all saying this and that. It's like, can we provide some context here? Can someone please say that, hey, we are also missing 2 key acquisitions in the summer that we are heavily dependent on in those first 10 matches in which we were deemed a success.
Perisic, my man. Perisic was for the goals.
You did mention that on the 3K celebration, and I was thinking about it yesterday. I was like, man, I wish I would have probed Sean, because I was talking about, I was trying to play a little bit devil's advocate. Shout out the show there on Spurs Talk Show, the Devil's Advocate. Make sure you tune into Spurs Talk Show and get updated live tomorrow. Yeah. Very nice. Look, I didn't even know that. Perfect fucking segue. See what I mean? And
appreciate the plug. Now, listen,
lost my train of thought there, but I think you know what I was asking.
People massively ignore and forget about how beautifully relevant Perisic was in the start of the season. I think we're 4 points lighter if Perisic doesn't participate in the first 6 games before he broke down. His ability to drive from the left-hand side. He was the best. I mean, Sonny's the best forward we have, full stop. He's the best winger. when he's winging, and he's the best striker when he's striking. But after him, I think it's Perisic. He doesn't have the pace, but he has that unbelievable balance with his cadence of the step overs. It's so tricky to read. You just never know when he's going to stop doing his last step over and then juke to the left or juke to the right. And he's largely difficult to play against for most fullbacks. So not having his ability to whip balls in has really cost us. People forget that. People are like, oh, it's only Van der Ven and Maddison. It's not. Absolutely not. Perisic was super important. Obviously, Romero was important as well for the injuries. But listen, you've probed me on that one. Let me probe you on this one. I know Romero's your boy. I know you're
dog.
I know you defend him to the hilt, but we have to have a conversation, my man. Do you think he should have been sent off?
Hell no.
No. Okay.
Hell no. Look, and I'll tell you why. I did mention this a little bit earlier on the show, but I'm really glad that you asked because, having a conversation with yourself, there's not a real clear counterpoint unless you know everyone's counterpoint. So I'm curious yours on this. Watching the clip back, and again, doing my best to remove my Spurs bias and my Romero love bias, doing my best to remove those two things from the situation. I'm watching it, and old buddy on the floor, he kicks the ball away as Romero, like if you watch, when he kicks the ball away is when Romero starts that sweeping movement. So once he kicks the ball away, he's already in that movement leading to the stomp. So to me, that is a clear yellow. It is a definite foul. It is just one of those moments where the guy had a cheeky little touch to it first. That happens all the time. Jack Grealish is so good at that, right? Where he kind of baits you into a challenge.
That's how you draw those fouls. I'm actually referring to the one in the first half when he went in and clattered into
Isaac. Said hello. Not even a yellow, babe. Hello.
He should have got a yellow. He should have got a yellow for that.
Here's one thing. What we do know as well, every single match, there's going to be instances and challenges where a ref doesn't necessarily put a card to reflect the intensity of the challenge. Brennan Johnson took an elbow to the back of the head from Joel Linton. Not a card. He wasn't even going for the ball. He just jumped, elbowed him in the back of the head, and ran away. Not a single card. So the ref's going to get it wrong.
No, wait, Pedro Porro, the one where Porro went in a roly-poly.
Was it Porro? I thought it was Johnson. I just saw it too. I don't remember. I just saw the incident in isolation because
yellow card. I think yellow card for that.
I don't think
I think it's the one you're thinking of that I'm thinking of. When they jumped for the ball, Pedro Porro
jumped, and from behind he hit him with an elbow in the back of the head. That's not even legal in UFC, Sean. Elbows to the back of the head.
You get a yellow card for that. But yeah, you could argue that was a red card as well. But my point is just about Romero. Like, I just think you're 3-0 up in a game, and there's just absolutely no need to do it. I take your point that he moved the ball out of the way last second, but that's what players do to try and draw fouls. But when you go in aggressively like that, with the reputation that he's forged, I just think that I was having this conversation with myself on my walk today. Whether or not, if you get a big bid come in for him, like 70 million, 80 million quid, do you sell him and then get someone who's as competent if you can find someone but doesn't have the lunatic gene? And I ultimately said no, because I don't think there's a better ball-playing centre-back in the Premier League. I think he's better than
passing was immense.
His
passing was and on the ball as well. Did you see right at the end of the first half? He did the most sexual turn with the ball and sauntered through two men. I was like, who is that? Salah. Just it was like him in silk and ball just flowing in the wind of a Grecian hotel on the piers of Crete. You know what I mean? Like, this is
every time I speak to you, you bring a conversation back to Greece, man. You got to get out there, bro. You got to get yourself out.
I miss it so much, bro. The water, the air is so different. Landing in New York after being in Greece for a few weeks, it's just like this stanky smell. It just smells like pits, building juice, dumpster.
I do think that Tottenham need to, like, I've been calling for this need for a left-footed, left-sided centre-back to play back up to Van der Ven, and I still make the argument that I think it's more important to get a left-footed, left-sided centre-back in. However, having seen this continual issue with Romero, where I just don't think he's going to take. You're not going to take that out of his game. I don't necessarily think you should, but what I do think you have to do is prepare for the inevitable, and that is that you're going to have 2-3 times a season where he's going to be suspended either for yellow card, culminations, or for red card offences. Because I just think
need 2 games.
Yeah, and I think that what we need to do, therefore, in January is, if you've got enough budget to get 2 centre backs, I think you do need to level up on someone who can play back up to him. And the sales pitch will be, look, you're going to get minutes, because hopefully next season we're playing twice a week, but also, the guy who you're competing with for your spot is a absolute maverick, and I just think we need someone in behind him who can step in for when these things happen. I don't think we should sell him. I think he's brilliant, but I do think he is a liability, and so you have to prepare for that. But at the same time, I think you could get someone on the left. So for me, when I see Tottenham are being linked with like Ben Godfrey from Everton, who's just absolutely atrocious, I don't want us to go for him. But there's a player.
I hate some of these links coming out, and you always do some really good like introspective, because you subscribe to Y Scout, don't you? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So you've got some really intricate details you can get about players that I love listening to. Again, shout out Spurs Talk Show. It is in the title, y'all, and we are about to hit an hour on the stream. So there's over 100 of you. Big up to the over 100 of you. Happy Monday or Tuesday morning, wherever you may be tuning in from. And those of you on playback, make sure you are hitting a like. Along with those of you live, make sure you are hitting a like. Subscribe to here and Spurs Talk Show. It is in the title. But when you look into some players, it's like, some of these links coming out, Sean. I heard Braithwaite today.
That's what I was going to talk about. That's the name I was going to talk about. Jared Branthwaite. Not Braithwaite. Branthwaite, his name is. He's Everton's young.
Maybe I just don't like that last name. Maybe it just lends itself to sound like
it's a bit Scottish, isn't it? Let's be honest. Sounds a little bit Scottish.
Is he a good player? Am I just being ridiculous?
Really good player.
So I'm being ridiculous.
Yeah, he's big, he's strong, he's quick. He's got a lovely pass on him. He's only 22 years old. I think he came from Carlisle. I might be wrong, but Everton paid like not much for him a couple of years ago, and I think he's one for the future, and I think he's another player that will benefit from playing in a different sort of system, similar to, as I said before. I think that Lloyd Kelly. People look at Lloyd Kelly and have watched him play for Bournemouth, and I don't think you're going to see the best of Lloyd Kelly's attributes playing in a team that's usually got their backs against the wall. His best, like, imagine seeing Van der Ven play a low block, right? You're not going to appreciate Van der Ven in a low block like you do in a high line. So,
well, that's a good point. I mean, I think he's such a dynamic defender; he can excel well at either. But you're right. But the best thing we love is when he's full stride, cleaning up someone thinking that you thought you were going to hit a breakaway, but you didn't. You didn't think that Mickey Van der Veen was on the case. That's the mother.
That noise. That sounds like a horse galloping behind.
It reminds me of like the way he runs.
Get away from Mickey.
The audacity.
In Ven? What are we doing here?
There is something else. I don't know how much longer I have you for, but something I do want to ask you about. Richarlison gets his brace. Could have had a hat trick. Where do you lie with this? Are you still saying nice, pad the resume for Saudi in the January window? Are you thinking maybe let's see what we can squeeze out of this lemon? Maybe this is a foundational block in which we can build upon. Where are you at?
I don't like the fact that every time he comes out and scores, he gives an interview explaining why he wasn't scoring before. Like finding excuses for before. Like I'm not a massive fan of the player. I think I've laid my cards out. I've never been a fan of him. When he first signed, when he was first linked with us, I was like, please God, no. I don't want to hate on him. I know the guy's he's got his demons in his head, and I think confidence is always a volatile issue with him. I just don't think you need someone who's got a terrible first touch in a system that requires you to have fluidity, and I think he's just going to break down more moves than he's not. I'm really pleased with him yesterday, and for what it's worth, I thought he played remarkably well. Not just obviously getting the 2 goals, but so I actually thought the first goal was just a Tommy tap in, and the second goal I thought his first touch was terrible, but he got the goal, so whatever. But I think where he really does shine is his selflessness in the press. That kind of sacrificial lamb stuff. I think he does it very well. I just don't really trust him, with the ball at his feet, and that's a big area to not, have my favour. So for me, look, I worry a little bit about the fact that if he scores 2 here, and if he scores 3 more before Christmas, then suddenly the idea that we're going to get rid of him is like, no, we don't need to now. Now we're going to have to keep him and we'll see if we can get the blood from the stone. But I just don't think he's going to have it. I think he'll have moments. He'll probably score 5 or 6 goals this year, but it's just not enough for me. So I would like to see him be sold and put the money into someone that I really can get my teeth stuck into. And you know who that player is for me. It's
Santiago
Jimenez.
Santiago. There's a tweet that I did bookmark from Cody Mack. Says, if big up Cody Mack, Canadian neighbor brother, says if Richarlison can contribute 15 goals this season, that's a good return for him. I'd be happy with that. No reason he can't under Ainge if healthy. He could have had 4 yesterday, really hoping that surgery was the answer all along. We know he's better than what he's shown at Spurs. Now I agree.
This season.
If he does, say we don't sell him in January, and he does give us 15 goals and maybe 3-4 assists, do you see him having a future here?
Yeah, if he scores 15 goals, I'll be the first one to say, like, amazing. You look at how many players there are that have scored 20 goals a season more than once in the Premier League. There's not many. It really is.
You look at how many forwards score 10+ goals in 8 consecutive seasons. It's a very thin list, but you know who is on it. And I know I'm not talking about the schnitzel eater out there in Germany. I'm talking about our captain, Son Heung-min. Yeah, such a beautiful. Exactly. He's only 17 assists from 100 as well in the Premier League.
Yes, mate. Sonny's a spectacular player. I think there's no debate on that. But what I would say is I thought Sonny was back to his very, very best at the step overs and take ons. He looked like, like last season, he would get the ball on the edge of the area and just kind of do that predictable thing where he tries to take his touch to the right hand side, and it was a little bit predictable. And then Decky sort of does exactly the same thing on the left hand side. But yesterday, you get the ball into the right thing, ask him to drive. There's very few players that are as good at driving and doing the little step overs as he made it look last night. He was buried and bullied Kieran Trippier, made him look like a junior. And
his name is no longer Kieran Trippier; it's Kieran Trip Over My Damn Self. That's what his name is. Also, when you talk, anytime you see Eddie, you just say, "Hey Eddie, how we doing?" Because I heard everyone loved old Eddie Howe. I just want to know how we doing.
Yeah.
But big up Paul Brown for the super chat here. €5 dono. Big up Paul Brown. Appreciate the support here. Says, evening Jacob and chat. Hopefully all are well. Just big up just for passion and knowledge. Appreciate that, my friend. Definitely bring the passion. Don't know about the level of knowledge, but I'll always do my best to be as knowledgeable. But big up Paul Brown. Appreciate you hitting us with the dono. Look, there's some discourse in the chat right now. Matt Spurs says Richie's first touch on the second goal was excellent. Rich says I disagree. They're saying
it wasn't excellent at all. But
it wasn't excellent. You said the first touch on the second. It
didn't land where he was intending it to land. It was a heavy touch that happened to fall into a fortuitous area that had a bit of space. But hello, mate. You like 24Z? Good. Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Thumbs up or thumbs down?
I'm gonna do 2 thumbs up. Let's get some fireworks on the show.
Ooh, can I get?
Well, I want to re-sign Sonny. If so, for how long?
I got the like one pop up. I didn't get the fireworks, but I got the.
Would I like to re-sign something? I mean, I don't know what that means. How long has he got left on his contract? 2 years? 3 years?
He extended
2.5 years left.
Didn't he do a 4 or 5 year extension about 3 years ago?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's got 2.5 years left.
I remember when Nuno was here, he signed an extension, and I was like, I fucking love you, son. Because while Harry Kane's flirting with City, while we're flirting with Nuno Espirito Santo, Son is signing an extension and committing his future to us. I was like, what a lad.
He didn't even ask for that much money either. But,
no.
I mean,
he could pull a big wage somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I love Sonny. I don't think he's always been great, but sometimes I feel like, when I've been a little bit harsh on him at times, but only because I love him and I know what he's capable of when he's at his very best. I do think he's absolutely being overworked, and I do think we need another player. We need some support in that forward line.
But in that left wing position, Sean, I was told he's done. After the first 3 matches, I argued that Heung-min Son had 5 big chances created, and Richarlison failed to finish any of them, and that he could have had 5 assists to his name, maybe even 3 or 4 if we put him out that left wing, and he looked fresh. Richie looked fresh. Is it just a matter of being fresh, or do we need to go back to testing with what we looked at in the beginning of the season, which was Son on the left, Richarlison through the middle, and maybe that we could see some more glory there?
Well, no, I think you're going to see something similar against Nottingham Forest. I think everything worked on on Sunday, but I think it's because in all the other games we played recently, something's not been clicking. Aston Villa, we created loads of chances, but we couldn't convert any. Manchester City, we gave up loads of chances, and we could have been on the end of a powerful defeat, but we got a little bit lucky. But then we took what chances did come our way. Against Wolves, we didn't really do anything. We got an early goal, but then didn't create or didn't convert anything after that. Against West Ham, we had loads of possession, but didn't create anything, so had nothing to convert. Like there was we've got positives in every game, but nothing came together. Yesterday, everything came together. Playing Brennan Johnson on the right is clearly his best position. Playing Decky through the middle is clearly his best position.
Well, we knew this versus City, Sean, that Brennan Johnson's, but lest we forget, the young Welshman turned around a $90 million defender, one that I was twerking for in the summer. Like, oh, imagine the wet dream if we signed Josko Vardy. Brennan Johnson said, Josko Vardy who?
Has anybody been a little bit disappointed in Josko Vardy? I thought this guy was going to come into the Premier League.
He looks a little bit like fish out of water. Maybe it's Pep is too big of a step for him. Maybe he needed to come into another.
I know, I know left back is like not really a left back. It's a different system. But
for Leipzig, he was that like left-sided center back with wing backs. So he was still playing like a left back role. But like with Pep, look, defensively, I mean, at least versus us, I think everyone looks a little bit different because they're kind of on their back foot rather than their front foot. And I just think he's been okay. I thought he would have been great.
Bad signing, but for £90 million, and after the World Cup that he had, everyone's like, oh, this guy's going to come in and just be the best defender ever seen. And if you were to give me right now, like Guardiola or I don't know, Mickey van der Ven for the left back spot, I'd take Mickey van der Ven. I'd put Gabriel's season ahead of Guardiola at the left-sided centre back. There's a couple of centre backs I'd go for in lower teams that I think have played better this season than Guardiola. Not saying he's not a great player, he is, but just don't think he's come in and smashed it out of the park like I thought he was going to.
So Jayco says Heung-min Son's contract runs out in 2025.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
David Shearer, YouTube.
I think he'll be 33, right? So I don't know if you want to give him another contract, but maybe a year here or something, a year or two, whatever. But I also think you've got to keep an eye over the next 2 years and just see whether he loses his pace, because most people that are pace players lose it. So, but in terms of keeping him around for now, 100%. But I think that we got to like learn about. I think people have to shake hands with some of these relationships that we're building. Like. Pape
I don't want to shake hands.
What do you want to do with it?
I want to hug.
Okay.
I want to hug. I'm going to be real honest. No, shaking hands is not going to do shit for me.
We have to cuddle the reality of some of these relationships.
I need an embrace. And once you can like inhale the pheromones of another human, then you can say X, Y, and Z about them. So Son can't leave until I've had that moment, I would say.
Yeah, no. Okay. 100%.
So sign him for an extension as long as it takes for me to get to the UK and then for me to subsequently also meet him. So there you go. That's how I feel about it anyway.
Just in case I don't speak to you beforehand, in 100 hours time, we're playing against Nottingham Forest. This time I am definitely going to Nottingham Forest. And I just secured my away ticket for Brighton as well. So I'm very happy. I'm going to all the games coming up in Christmas. But Nottingham Forest, are you weary of this? Are you reserved? Are you reluctantly optimistic? Are you overly enthusiastic about Tottenham's chances? Where do you sit?
When it comes to the Battle of the Hams, Sean, I will say this. There's only one thing to do with a good old slice of ham, and that's put it in between two pieces of bread, slap some mustard and cheese with a piece of lettuce, and a tomato if you fancy it. I do not, but that's what I would do with this little piece of Nottingham Forest ham. Look, I think their best result was versus Aston Villa.
You're going to create a thumbnail, aren't you, on Thursday night, and it's going to be two hams fighting it out.
Hey, that's a good idea. I need to get AI to start on that. Come on, AI.
Some trees in its backpack, and the other one, like, I don't know, something to do with Tottenham.
That's also something I say. Look, when you're in the forest, and if you can't get a clear view, just start chopping. Just start chopping away, and eventually you'll clear a path. You'll find the road that way. And if we go there, we play our brand of football. There's no reason we can implement our game plan against fucking anyone. Oh, the treble winners, we'll implement it versus them. Oh, the people who are supposed to be the other title challengers, we'll fucking implement it versus them.
Yeah.
Luton just came up, we'll implement it versus you, even down a man. It doesn't matter where we are, the couch, the car, the parking lot, or the damn stadium or the moon. We're going to bring our style. We're going to play our brand of football. And if they don't like it, it don't matter because they have to deal with it. So hold that, every single one of you. Again, if you can't see the vision, doesn't mean that there ain't one there. And I would also add that by the time you see the vision, it's too late, my friend. Oh, it's too late for you. It's too late for any ideas. This is the thing, Sean. I said, we have this old burnt house, right? This house has been set afire and it's been burning. Jose tried to put it out. He couldn't. He almost did, but he couldn't. Then we had Nuno and he just stared at it burning and then left. And then Conte, and it was the same thing. He's like, this club, these players, oh, this club, you can change the manager. You can't change a thing, you know? And it's like, thank you for that, Luigi.
That's quite good.
I've been working in this club, these players. I've been working on that.
I like that. Nice.
We finally have put out the fire and started to run the electrical. And there's a flicker of a light bulb starting to flicker. And everyone's like, hey, what are they doing over there? They're not supposed to have no fucking electricity. And it's like, bro, don't worry about what we're doing over here. You worry about your house, Chelsea. Your shit's been on fire too, and I ain't seen it put out yet. So let me worry about mine, but everyone's getting so upset that there's a flicker of electricity, that we are beginning the stages of rebuilding this home while Man City sit across the street in a beautiful, lavish mansion. We are beginning the starting stages, I feel, of rebuilding this house. And really, again, there was a guy in the chat, Joe Leone. I don't think Joe Leone's still here, but Joe Leone was all upset about my attitude and the way I'm acting about my club. And it's just like, bro, the fire's out. I can see that. I know that we are not a house that is in livable conditions yet, but soon come. Don't be worried about the flicker of electricity. All it is, people get upset when they start seeing, oh, their shit's not on fire anymore. I liked it better when their shit was on fire. You don't have to like it. You just have to take it. I'll leave that there for them.
With all that being said, and as wonderfully articulate as it was, I'm still not entirely sure whether or not you told me whether you think we're going to do well against Nottingham Forest. I'm not sure what to pick up from it.
You know, since I've gone on these other channels and I've battled for Tottenham Hotspur, I've learned how to really dance around the answers and leave you in a destination in which you're like, I don't know how we got here, but somehow we are.
I don't know what he just said, but it sure sounded beautiful. Let's give me a straight answer.
My answer would be
like the mansion and the light, the flickering electricity. We got the candles out. It sounds like a romantic getaway, and I want to go to that little kind of hub in the cabin in the woods with you, my man. But what's happening against Nottingham Forest?
Oh my goodness, we're gonna go there. We're gonna implement our game plan, and if we execute and like finish our dinner, because let's remember, versus Villa and West Ham, we set up in a manner to go grab it. We just were doing this the whole time instead of, you know, in your dreams when you're punching and you're not really punching, you're like, yeah, and it's like you can't lift things.
Just really hard work, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like you trying so hard to punch, or those dreams you have where it's like I'm telling you something and everyone doesn't hear you or see you, and it's like you're yelling at the top of your lungs, but no, it's like that. You know.
Do you know what? I don't know if you. When I finish listening to your show, normally when I'm going to sleep, at some point, I get like auto played on my laptop into like some sort of podcast about, okay, it might be like a Joe Rogan podcast, or it might be, I don't know, one of these other people that just talk with somebody else. And in my dream, I'm part of the conversation, right? And I feel like I'm sitting in a room with Joe Rogan and with whoever he's talking to. And I get really annoyed with Joe Rogan because I'm trying to get involved in the conversation, but whenever I'm talking back, he interrupts me because I'm still listening to whatever's going on in the actual conversation. That I'm not.
Somehow
really
this feels like real life, though, too. This how it feels like
I'm
it would go.
Joe, stop interrupting me. I'm trying to contribute. I wake up angry every morning with Joe Rogan.
Yeah, that's hilarious. No, so to answer your question in the most long roundabout way, Sean.
Yeah, how are we doing again, Forrest? What are we doing here?
I think we're doing great. I think they're at a moment where they're really struggling to find their form this year. It's kind of been an up-down, twisty-turny type event. I'm gonna have to look at how they played their last 2 matches, but I think they held a fat L, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see before I keep talking out my ass here. No, I don't see them. They're too bummy, bro. I don't even, like, bro. They need to worry about relegation. Is what they need to worry about. Don't worry about us. Worry about relegation, my friend. So their form, they're winless in 5. I see L draw.
Yeah, they're not playing very well. They do, but they've got it in them to turn up. You know, I personally think we're gonna cruise it. But
Brennan Johnson brace against his former club to help get them, underneath the dice, so to speak.
I think that, well, Brennan Johnson. You know what? I think the smart money is on Richie. I think 2-0 Tottenham, Richie to score anytime, if you're into that sort of thing. I don't know if you are. I'm never sure if you're allowed to talk about gambling on these shows. Henry keeps telling me to not mention it, but because he's like, oh, that's what gets us limited ads. I'm like, bro, I get limited ads within 3 seconds of turning the camera on.
It's been ever since I cursed. I remember I was not bragging, but I was like, "Hey, Sean, watch me on my show. Flip off the camera and say fuck you." And it was just like, ever since that day, I've been getting hit with the fucking yellow dollar sign.
It happens. I reckon it's YouTube's way of saying, "All right, so you've got big enough now. You're at a few thousand. You're putting in quite a lot of work. Let's see how much you really want this YouTube thing to work out. We're going to not allow you to make any money from ads from about 3,000 all the way up until about 50,000. And once you get past 50,000, then you're a big time. So then, then we're going to allow you to make money and stuff. But between now and then, you're going to have to just get on with it, buddy. Yeah,
and it's unfortunate because what you said, you're like, yeah, you can request a review, and they say a human looked at it and said you're good to go.
Yeah, but 6 days.
But by then, but by then, no one. You get 17 views. Doesn't matter anymore,
man. The party finished about 48 hours ago. I don't need to know if you can deliver me alcohol now.
It's like, hey, I can make it to your wedding. By the way, bro, we've been married for 2 years. I already divorced her. It's like, what the hell's going on here, man?
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I'll come to your second wedding. Yeah, well, make sure you get that invite in on the post beforehand because I don't want to have to wait again until afterwards. Unbelievable. Unbelievable stuff. Rennie's asking, someone's asking, Herbie Hertz is saying, Richie Brace, Sean, we saw your bets this past weekend. Listen, my man, I put a bet on for 4-1 and it wasn't, someone paid me a $5. What's his name?
I usually bet chicken sandwiches. Blaine
Dev sent me a $5 and said, as a super chat, and said,
I always see Blaine Dev, I always see him in yours and Henry's chat. I don't think I've seen him here, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he's a generous man. Brilliant guy. I know him. Speak to him occasionally. He's from Ireland, but his I put on all these bets. I put like 50, 60 quid's worth of bets on, and every single one of them was completely over in like after the first goal. Because they were all first goal scorers, and I didn't have Udogie as my first goal scorer. But Blaine Dev threw a $5 in and said, "Can you put 4-1 Richie anytime?" And it came in at 36 to 1, so 180 quid or something came in. And he goes,
that's good.
It with Henry, so because Henry was moaning about not getting a fair share of super chats and stuff.
Oh,
I know. He was crying like a baby
about it. Bless his heart. Well, another thing I want to get your opinion here, Sean, before we do. inevitably lose you at some point. Giovanni Lo Celso. Barcelona manager Xavi wants the club to sign him in January. What are your initial thoughts on this? This is not. There's a few sources that are saying this too as well.
Yeah, he's always linked back to Spain. If he wants to go, I think you're only going to get about 7-8 million quid for him, though. I don't think you're going to get very, very much money. And I don't know how you feel. How you doing, buddy? I don't know whether or not selling him is worth what he's worth as a player. And I was having this
what are we going to get from 20?
No, not even 20. I think you'll get like 7 or 8 million, 9 million. I think
no way. There's I'd rather 8-9 million come off the bench for 20 minutes like he did.
100%. 100 is exactly how I feel. But if we could get 20 million, then I think you'd let him go. But I don't think you can.
I'd let him go for. I don't know if 20 is even enough. I think the depth, like to sign his replacement in January, is going to cost us more than 20 unless we find some child. You know what I mean? So I would even argue I'd sell him for that much maybe in the summer when we have time to work other deals. But in January window, you need him. Y'all need him because y'all just got stomped by Granola. Well, guess what? Boom. 35. That's our starting.
I was thinking about this the other day, right? If you put our midfielders in a list and you go like from best to worst, and you might not agree with the exact order, but just generally speaking, you've got Maddison at the top of the list, Bentancur, Bissouma, Sarr, Lo Celso, Højbjerg, Skip. You've got 7 midfielders. Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, I don't know how you feel about Højbjerg, but if you go to any other club and you go to your 6th best midfielder and you have someone of Højbjerg's quality, that's pretty impressive, right? It's pretty impressive, isn't it?
You talk about building a squad that can challenge. You have to have 5th, 6th, and it be that. Like, yes, starting. No one wants to start Højbjerg
in that list as well. So you can put Kulu at the top, right? So it'll start somewhere at the top. So Højbjerg is your 7th best midfielder, and Ollie Skip is your 8th best midfielder. Like I don't.
Which, by the way, Oliver Skip, what the hell, man? His controller died right in front of net. He just he was looking around, Sean. He was like, "Hey, y'all see that? It's right here, dude." And he just I mean, good keeper. The keeper saved it with his knee. He almost got getting nutmegged by Oliver Skip would be a low for any keeper, even if your name is Depravka.
Yeah.
Because he's been depriving himself of clean sheets lately, is what it looks like.
Nice.
I tried to.
Very, very good. Very good.
I just keep thinking about Skip. That ball just goes bloop. He's just standing there like, oh shit, am I on sides? It was so funny.
A terrible finish. You know, there's another player you can play word games with. There's a link. Tottenham are linked to buying a Romanian centre back from, I think it's Torino. His name is Radu Dragusin. Right, and I was like, "Oh, you could play so. Is he going to drag us into trouble? Is he going to drag us into a title challenge? You know, if we get this guy coming in, what's he going to drag us into?"
Drag us in. That's great.
It's a good name.
Dragging us over the line, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
Dragging us to a title. That's a fantastic name. But Gio Lo Celso for me
anywhere, Radu. I'm coming willingly, buddy. I'm coming willingly.
Yeah. You don't have to drag. Yeah, don't drag me. Why you gotta drag me? Giovanni Lo Celso for me, just to wrap up on the subject, I think that in January I'm not selling him for less than 35 because we're gonna need 35, 40 just to get his replacement. That's gonna be a question mark.
Correct.
Whereas he's not as much of a, because there was still, even as much as I felt like I knew what he was as a player, it was still the question mark. Well, we haven't seen him do it under an Ange Postecoglou system and get the start and get the time. And we saw him, he had 3 consecutive starts. And I think 3 consecutive starts is a decent amount of a sample size, enough to say, hey, I either got to change something or I got to stick with what we're doing. And 3 straight starts, no wins. You have to change something. I don't think he's a dog awful player as I used to. I still don't think he's good enough to be a starter in the team in which I'm looking to build. But like you said in regards to Højbjerg, when you look at the depth and you're trying to build something, you have to have these supplemental players that don't start, but they do have quality. Is Giovanni Lo Celso the kind of guy? His attitude lately has looked great. I want to see the pictures this week since he got the snub. But on game day, he knew that morning he wasn't starting. And he was still vibrant with smiles, beaming from ear to ear. So maybe this is my main problem with him in the first place, was his fucking attitude. Because my stepdad made me write this stupid ass poem over and over. If I gave my mother a bad attitude, I'd write this poem about how attitude is, or life is 10% what happens to you and 90% on how you react to it. And your attitude and this, that, and the, I wrote that motherfucker so many times, Sean. That for me, now I'm pissed. I'm like, you're going to show me attitude with them floppy little corners going to the first man. Like, what are we doing here, guy? And I'm seeing him whip it in on his left foot for Argentina on a peach for somebody. And then it's like, where's that at our club? Then he comes in, starts 2 consecutive goals in 2 consecutive games. There is quality there. Big up James Paratrooper. I saw you coming in.
Solution, you know, I don't think he necessarily enjoys the British weather. I think he's a fair weather player. But look, again, to have him, if we're putting Decky in that list, to have an Argentinian midfielder who's a regular Argentinian player in the 6th spot of our midfield options, this notion that we have a ridiculous thin squad, we have no depth, it's just not true, at least in the midfield. It's just not true in the midfield. And if you look up the top end of the pitch, when everybody's fit, you know, Perisic, Solomon, Johnson, Decky, Son, Hill. It's also not true when you look at the forwards. I think that there's not enough caliber for what we specifically need, but the idea that we don't have good players, I think we're just very thin at the back, you know. But
yeah, the drop off in center back. The drop off at center back is quite stark. I mean, the fact that we're stuck without Van de Veen and Ben Davies as our guy, that still tells you the overlying issue here.
Ben Davies should have got so happy for him last night because he was absolutely sensational yesterday. I thought that slide tackle in the 7th minute when we could have gone 1-0 down. You got to watch that in slow motion, right? As he's sprinting back.
And that wasn't the only one either.
No, he was brilliant after that as well.
I think he had 3. I think I remember that one and 2 more, at least in the second half, that I can vividly remember where I was like, nice, Davies. One went out for a corner and one he cleared for a throw-in or something, or I think Sarr picked it up or something.
Magician, yeah. But what he did in that run, he was running.
Go ahead, man.
Right? But he
also locked down Erling Haaland, by the way. Goalless Erling Haaland versus the Welsh captain. I wanted a caveat there.
100%. But if you watch that particular run back, right, he's sprinting, or he's at I wouldn't say he's at 100%, he's at 95% sprint, but he takes a little bit off when he's looking to his left to see what Anthony Gordon's going to do with it, and then he's looking to his right to make sure he's covering Isaac, and he does that kind of shadow kind of marking where he's trying to take care of both options. He's looking to the left, looking to the right, while sprinting 95% of his pace, and when he slides in, if he gets that an inch too early, if he slides an inch too early, it hits the inside of his foot and it goes in for an own goal. If he slides an inch too late, he misses the ball altogether. And it hits I
almost thought it was about to be an own goal.
It was absolute perfection to just get enough on it to take it over Isaac without sliding it in, without hitting into his own goal. And I think that people are so ready to always criticize him. I haven't done enough research today to see if everyone that's usually criticizing Davies has gone out of their way to say how well he played. Because I think if we go 1-0 down in that game, it's a different game, all different game, you know.
Mm-hmm. Big up Phil P. Says question: Davies yesterday, was that his best Spurs performance ever?
Yeah, one of them. Probably his best ever.
There was one time I remember he stepped up. I don't know if it was like a Liverpool or United once, where I was like, "Okay, Ben Davies." I'm probably thinking of a different instance there. Look, Sean, I don't know how much longer I have got you, but
I'm gonna go, mate. I love talking to you.
Hey,
I got to go to bed.
Yeah, you get some sleep because it's midnight over there, right?
Yeah, I've got to be up at 5 o'clock.
Happy Tuesday. At least I was the first person to tell you, have a great Tuesday.
Thank you, my man. Let me be one of the last people to tell you to have a wonderful rest of your Monday. Okay.
I appreciate that. How beautiful of you. Thank you so much. Sean with Spurs Talk Show. Make sure you go subscribe. It is in the title of this video. Sean, thank you so much. As always, my friend.
Quickly, just one word answer, or maybe 3 word answers. Nottingham Forest game. I'm still waiting for a prediction.
Nottingham Forest. I'm here to tell you. What is that? Egal's cooking you on Hassam's channel right now? Don't make me get the link from Hassam Rabizio Famano. Forest, Tottenham, not deflecting again. You want the goal score, like the gold, like what I think's 5-1, baby. I think they'll get a goal. I think we'll let Gibbs White get one. Why not? Let him get one. Let him have fun. Let him celebrate for a little bit. All right,
Love
man.
you, man.
Enjoy that game. Love you, bro. Have a good rest of your night.
Good night, chat. Take care. See ya. Bye.
All right. Rabizio, let me see what we're doing here. I'm going to listen in. What are they saying? What you say he's cooking me right now? You say he's cooking me right now. Let's see about that. Hang on. What is he doing?
Today, do you want to do this? You're gonna get embarrassed.
Yeah, go for it.
Have you seen your group, bro?
Look at this Lewis guy, just so he postponed his section. Listen, we're almost at the
hour.
Let me rewind it a little bit. Is Hassam wearing a blue shirt?
1 second.
Oh, he looks like he's wearing a suit.
Don't take it. 1 second. Don't take comparison as disrespect when the comparison is to get to that level. When people are saying
when you say Mo Salah, you bring him back.
Bro, Fabrizio, I don't think they're talking about me. I don't think they're talking about me, bro. I don't even see anything in the chat mentioning me. What are you talking about? He ain't cooking shit. You need to defend your good name. Here we go. I don't know what he's saying, so I don't know what to defend. Big up Phil P. Good night. Huge love to you, my friend. Ronnie says 4-0 Tottenham. That's a great score prediction. I cannot lie. David, the time difference. Why can't we take advantage of the footy tipping? Seeing as she's in the future. Big up David Shear. Good to see you in the house. We've been killing it tonight in the chat. Look, get your final thoughts here on the show. I won't be going too much longer because I do have a show later tonight, but I do have to go run and get some feta cheese for my wife. Pregnant wife. Got to go get some feta cheese. Yeah, I think he's baiting me, and it worked because I literally pulled up Hassam's chat live on my own show and reviewed it. But big up everyone who is tapped in. I think we are 4 likes away from 100. Big up to everyone who has it a like. Oh no, I just refreshed and there's 100 likes. So how about that? I do appreciate every single one of you. 103 votes in the poll. Let me go ahead and end that off real quick and see what the results are. 36% is saying Happy Destiny Udogie Day. And what a great day it is indeed. Immaculate Vibes only and always gets 33%. Calm Time to build on this with 27%. And only 2% says I'm rival. And I'm still not happy. So look, we only had 2% rivals today, but that's okay. Is this Egal who says he is calm and realistic? That guy says a lot of things. Shout out Egal. Egal Talks Football, I believe is the channel name, or Egal TV. But pick up Egal every single time. Yeah. Nothing bad to say against the guy. I had a few more things that I did want to go through as far as bookmarks, but I think we'll leave it there, y'all. We've been over an hour and a half. I think it's been a great show, great episode, number 111. I'm going to see if there's anyone live that I can send y'all to, any good people that I recommend you get involved with if you have not been to their channel before. Let me check the list. Yeah, go on over to This Is Football. I'm gonna send y'all on over. They don't have a Spurs rep, so tell them that they're a bunch of wafflers for not having a Spurs rep. And look at that. We have limited ad monetization. How sweet is that? Let me go ahead and already request a review. It's like they heard us. when Sean and I were talking about it, it's like they heard us. How could Hassam sent you when he's still live right now? Drunk Vigo, you're absolute liar. Big up Steady as Shark. Appreciate you being here every single time. Look, I also want to say thank you as well to Chang with the 5 United Spurs of America memberships, and David Shear with the super chat, and Paul Brown with the super chat as well. Big up. I do appreciate y'all spending a little dough here. That means a lot to me. I hope y'all have enjoyed the conversation. Look, I didn't expect to have Sean. It was absolute fantastic to have him. Helped me continue to talk about footy rather than just waffle on by myself. So I do appreciate everyone who has tapped in. And if you are watching this back live, big up yourself right now, and I hope you're having a great day. Make sure you hit a like on your way out. But look, y'all, that's going to do it for episode 111 of the Untitled series, aka the Immaculate series. I forgot already who told me, but please, in the comments below after this video is posted, remind me who told me that. Someone remind me, please. Hey, big up Rowan. Good to see you back, buddy. Good night, guys. Can't wait for Friday and your build-up. Big up Rowan Kumar every single time. Dry Roast Peanut says, stay fresh. Absolutely. Make sure the seal is not broken or tampered before consuming every single time. But look, y'all, I've had a blast. It's a lot of fun doing these things every single day. Again, obligatory. I have to do this.
LeBron James.
Yep, LeBron James indeed. And you know what? Why not play this as an outro? So I'm going to give you the outro here. The outro video is going to be a little bit different. All right. It's just a little bit different. But folks, as always, you beautiful, beautiful people, stay fresh, stay blessed, up the lads, and come on, you Spurs. Good
evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening.
United Spurs of America, with your hosts, Michael and Jacob.